chat about us here. Ok, Felipe, Edilson, Bruno, José Carlos, João Fernandes, Flávio. Que bacana, que alegria mesmo. Meu amigo Lion, Thaís. Oi, Thaís. Vanjai, how are you, Vanjai? Muito bem. Ok, well, it's time to start, you know? So, pessoal, muito obrigado pela participação de vocês. Estou muito feliz, muito contente mesmo com a participação de todos. Tenho que contar, é o maior webinar que eu já participei, que eu já organizei aqui, junto com o time. Obrigado, Natália, Aline, que cuidaram de tudo. Vamos falar um pouco de português, vamos falar um pouco de inglês, como eu comentei anteriormente. O nosso objetivo hoje é onde está cada centavo gasto, consumido em AWS, Azure e Google Cloud. Aditya, where is each cent of our consuming, in our invoice related to AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud? So that's the main point for today. So, thanks for joining us today in this webinar. I'm pleased to welcome here Centilytics to Brazil. As you guys can imagine, those who know me and work with me, because of long time working with international companies, I very often receive invitations to work with one or another as a partner, as a representative, etc. But this time, it was completely different. Centilytics, the team, they came after me with an unexpected, with an unusual, and a stronger than ever wish for working with us here in Brazil. So after a dozen of discussions, meetings, I decided to accept the challenge, and here we are. So eu recebo muitos convites, né, pessoal? Muitas abordagens de empresas internacionais querendo trabalhar com a gente aqui no Brasil. E às vezes uma tabela de preços, uma coisa que não assim, não salta aos olhos. Mas a Centilytics foi diferente. Eles vieram com interesse real mesmo de trabalhar com a gente, de explorar esse mercado brasileiro, de contribuir com os MSPs, e a gente resolveu aceitar o desafio, né? So, joining with me in this conversation today, I'm glad to welcome Aditya Garg, who is the founder and CEO of Centilytics, fueled by the passion to democratize the cloud and bringing cloud management to every user out there. He created Centilytics in a Stanford dorm room. It's the beginning. It has a lot of common with great histories we have, you have heard in terms of technology, Aditya. So thanks for, your journey. I admire your story a lot. So it's a pleasure to have you here. And Aditya has successfully led the bootstrapped dorm room startup to the point where Centilytics handles over $750 million. I will repeat, $750 million in cloud consumption. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Aditya. The stage is yours now. Welcome to Brazil.
Thank you so much, Eder. Thank you. So the pleasure is all ours. Let me start by thanking you for the opportunity. Really excited to be entering the Brazilian market. I think it's an amazing time to be in cloud, and I think all of us here couldn't have chosen a better generation to be doing business in the public cloud. And I think
Good.
I'm really, really excited to see what we can do together, and looking forward to an amazing year. I
Awesome.
think COVID has in certain ways brought us all together because, going all over the world, sitting out of, a tiny little room, I think that's the beauty of the digital era. So hopefully
Yeah,
we do a good job today, and connect
yeah.
us all across the world.
Yeah, I'm more than sure about it. So, to get our webinar started, né, para começar o nosso webinar, I'd like to ask please to Atu to send the polling research we have prepared.
Sure,
Eu
sure.
gostaria de pedir a vocês, meus amigos, primeiro agradecer a atenção, claro, de vocês, mas nós preparamos aqui um pool de questões para que vocês nos ajudem a entender melhor a nossa audiência de hoje e direcionar melhor o nosso bate-papo. A qualquer momento, whatever you want, whenever you need here, you can, write your questions. Você pode escrever suas perguntas e vamos fazer desse bate-papo um momento de crescimento e de informação. Okay? So, after you receive the pool, if you can please click and answer, we would be glad and thankful. And after that, Aditya, you can go ahead and share with us that rich information that you prepared.
Perfect. So we'll give everybody a minute to go through the poll, and once
Good.
Atul gives me green light, we'll get it going.
Ok. Enquanto o nosso querido Ato prepara esse pool, eu gostaria de contar para vocês, pessoal, que a plataforma Centilytics realmente me impressionou, né? Centilytics platform really impressed me por causa das informações ricas e que ela nos dá e nos ajuda como gestores, como CIOs, como CTOs, como provedores de serviço a obter informações muito precisas sobre o cost monitoring. But it is just one part of the platform. Nós temos automation, né, que é ligar e desligar instâncias em determinados horários, security, compliances, and many useful information. So what we are going to offer to you today is about information. Isn't it, Aditya?
Absolutely. So I
Yeah.
think this is the perfect segue to go a little bit deeper and explain to you how exactly is it that we are enabling MSPs across the globe. So if this is a good time, I'll just jump right in. I love the poll results. They make a lot of sense in terms of what people are looking for and what exactly do we have here to present. So hopefully it'll be a good use of everybody's hour here. So with that, I'll jump right in. I think just to start off with our story a little bit, I see Centilytics as an early day startup still. I mean, we're about 4.5 years into our journey. As Eder was kind enough to mention, I started this while I was still in college. And over these past 4 years, in our first year, we became a StartX company, which is a tier 1 accelerator. In 2019, we became a red herring top 100 startup. By 2020, we kind of entered our growth phase where we managed close to about $300 million in cloud. We grew to about 150 people, and we basically have partners and customers in every single continent at this point.
Wow.
This year is supposed to be even bigger, and I think partnerships like these always help. So we are now looking to enter larger markets. We are planning to do 3 new product releases in this year, and we can only anticipate what a Centilytics 4.0 would look like. We currently think that we are in our 3.0 journey as a company. So really excited to see the future.
Good. Pessoal, just allow me a few words in português. Como a Aditya diz, a Centilytics começou, né, por causa da universidade, etc. Então, how important it is for us here, we have been working hard with that to support younger people in the first job in cloud computing, you know. So, é muito importante os jovens se interessarem por esses assuntos e verem como as possibilidades são inúmeras. Aditya started with a great idea, and because of this great idea and support he received, you know, from, you know, the environment, you know, itself, the university and so on, they created a big company, and it's awesome. So congrats on this achievement.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ed. It couldn't have happened without the support. So I think it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
important to nurture young companies and see what can come out of it. Since we have an MSP heavy audience, we wanted to focus and tell you that we are bringing in knowledge from across the world, right? So we work with global SIs, we work with distributors, we work with regional SIs, and we've really learned the dynamics of how an Asia Pacific market differs from a European market to a South American market to a hardcore USA kind of a opportunity. So we really understand those nuances, and we're able to bring the best of all worlds and help accelerate this momentum. And this is kind of what AWS and Azure also do. We're just further augmenting what they do really well by providing the support that MSPs need in order to get to market faster. So somewhere in our journey today, I'll be able to showcase to you how exactly should an MSP be thinking about a modern day cloud business, and whether it is a Centilytics or any other toolings, but basically how exactly should you be setting up your framework so that you can be successful in this highly competitive, highly lucrative at the same time MSP market.
Yeah. It's a very important point because Akanksha has been doing a great job with Don and team. Não só a Centilytics é uma plataforma para te dar a informação, como temos como ajudar todos os prestadores de serviço a seguir um caminho, né? The right path to make money, you know. What we can do with this information. So, how to create value with this information? Como nós podemos criar valor com essa informação que Centilytics nos propõe?
Awesome. So as a company, our vision is really simple. We want to democratize public cloud. We think that the on-prem era was like a monarchy. You had this king and the central IT, and you basically went in hoping that you would get the resources you needed. And just like any monarchy, right, cloud disrupted that, but it brought in a sense of anarchy because the people clicking the buttons were no longer paying the bill. So basically, most customers started losing their control over their public cloud. And our entire vision is to bring a democracy. We have to have rules in order to live together. And those rules should not take away our freedom at the same time, should not take away the agility at the same time. So the whole idea of Centilytics is how do we retain the best parts of cloud and also bring in some control back to the end customer, to the partner there who are actually accountable for those bills and payments and security and other stuff of cloud.
Yeah. I do love that mission. So it's unique. It's unique, you know. Awesome.
Now, just moving on, right? How does a vision translate into a mission? It's to harmonize technology and services. You can look at a traditional IP and it's useless unless you have people using it. So I always look at technology as a fuel that still needs an engine. And I look at services as that engine, but it has its limitations in terms of not being really elastic, not being really repeatable. So if we can help create this amazing yin-yang blend of how technology and services come together so that for the end customer, it should be a seamless experience, right? None of your end customers should be bothered on whether a machine did their right sizing or a human did their right sizing, or a machine do their patching or a human did it. So kind of blurring those lines of technology and services is what we really want to do. And that's exactly how we drive our platform, our roadmaps, and our entire story. And again, you'll be able to see a lot of that in the demo today.
Good. Excellent.
Now, just to kind of showcase to you guys that we understand the pain points of an MSP, it's really important to know that the margins are continuing to shrink, and they will continue to shrink year on year. Cloud vendors will sign direct contracts in case of large EAs or large EDPs, and resources will be a global problem. I mean, doesn't matter which part of the world you're in, cloud resources are expensive, they're scarce, and they're difficult to retain.
Doesn't matter where, yes. Doesn't matter where.
Doesn't matter where, right? I mean, you could be in India, the most populated country in the world, and still don't have enough people trained on cloud. So at the end of the day, these are universal problems, and there has to be a better solution. You know, you can't just throw people at problems, and that's kind of where Centilytics comes into the equation. So let me start by focusing on what exactly is it that we bring to the end customer. This is our product layer, or what we call as our self-service offering. We basically are talking about giving them cloud visibility. The customer should know every single dollar that they're spending. They should be able to track each and every line item of their inventory and basically be able to see like a mirror image of their infrastructure, but in a really simple, BI dashboarding kind of a way where they can really quickly get down to any part of their infrastructure and understand what really is going on.
I hate miscellaneous part, Pessoal, eu não gosto, eu odeio o miscellaneous. O miscellaneous das faturas de cloud são realmente coisas que me deixam loucos. It's to avoid, it's not to avoid miscellaneous, but it's just to understand miscellaneous, a little bit more.
Oh, completely agreed, right? From the taxes to your, data transfer costs, to your RI costs, all of those add up really quickly. So now once you understand your cost and you understand your inventory, the next step in your, cloud journey is optimization. Helping customers do their wastage tracking, their workload scheduling, their instance right sizing, RI planning, all of those become a part of your optimization layer. Is there anything running which is frivolous and inorganic? If we can help them save that money, or for that matter, even help them realize that there is no more money to save, their confidence on cloud goes to a different level. Right now, it's not that everybody is overspending, but they have the paranoia that they're overspending because there's nobody coming in from a neutral point of view and saying, hey, we assure you that you should be spending $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month. So this is more a place to help them save money and also give them comfort on there is nothing more you can do in your public cloud journey.
Yes.
Now, the third critical aspect of your cloud world is chargeback. At the end of the day, IT is no longer accountable for the cost. In fact, they want to pass back every single dollar to some application or some business unit or some team. So chargeback becomes really, really critical. And we have one of the strongest offerings when it comes to tagging compliance, where basically a customer should be able to set up a rule saying this is how my convention should look like. And if there's any single resource running in a different convention, it'll basically trigger an alert. We're also unique in having a full auto tagging offering. What that does is it basically auto tags resources. If you're running in EC2, we will auto tag the resources around that EC2, like your disk, your IP, your security group, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a really, really important value proposition for the end customer. The component becomes security and health. So we have 9 global compliances built into our console: HIPAA, PCI, GDPR, ISO 27001, CIS, CSA. So basically, if your customer is trying to run an industry benchmark, we will make sure that their infrastructure is compliant. And just to let you guys know, there's 600 different points of failure in public cloud that people overlook. Everything from your ports to your MFA to your encryption. There's so much and more that needs to be looked at, and we will make sure that stays secure.
Yes. So since Aditya mentioned GDPR, we have to say about LGPD, that is the Brazilian law regarding to data protection. So, pessoal, a gente está trabalhando bastante junto com o pessoal de Centilytics para conseguir fazer os pequenos ajustes, as customizações para que a gente consiga entregar para vocês também uns relatórios completos de adequação com a LGPD. So, Aditya, I mentioned in Portuguese that we are going to work together to not only to offer GDPR, but also with LGPD, that is the Brazilian
Yep.
law, achieve all the points that really matters in this law. So awesome to know that.
Absolutely, yes. So moving on to the last 2 points here, cloud automation. So basically, as an IT ops team or as a managed service provider, your customer may want certain simple self-service from you. Hey, let me turn on my VMs, turn off my VMs, let me run some basic ARM scripts or CloudFormation scripts. Maybe they want to do some self-healing, some self-remediation. All those become basic cloud automation use cases. It doesn't take away from the DevOps engineer. Those guys still love their Terraform, their infrastructure as code, and they continue to do that. But your day-to-day 1 VM, 2 VM kind of stuff, which you're not really doing using scripts, we basically make it a lot more easier for that customer to come and do it in self-service and not have to bother an MSP, at their current format. Right.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, governance and reporting. This is where we have 3,000 different reports. You can set up budget alerts, security alerts. You can go ahead and set up notifications. So basically, if there's anything you want the system should tell you, it'll come in and do that for you. Right. So this is our self-service layer.
Yeah.
Everything that your end customer should be getting.
Good. You said 300 reports?
3,000 reports.
3,000 reports? Awesome. Awesome. It's a lot of reports. It's awesome.
Yeah. So moving on, like this is our core offering for MSPs. This is the most interesting piece for everybody here because this is exactly how we will be enabling MSPs to do a modern day kind of cookie cutter managed service model and not just be stuck on bespoke, contract by contract managed services, because again, we all have learned the limitations in scaling a model like that. So this is our platform layer. We can basically focus on integration. Here, we are looking at ITSM integrations, single sign-on integrations, modern workplace integrations. So the whole idea is we want to bring your ecosystem together and not just be sitting out there in a silo where you got to log into us separately and do other stuffs independently, right? So no matter what ITSM you're using, the idea would be that for your customers, they can directly log in tickets from the Centilytics console. They can interact with those tickets from the Centilytics console, but your delivery teams continue to work on the ITSM and follow the regular ITIL process. Similar things apply to sign on where you have multiple customers, subscriptions, et cetera, to manage, makes it a lot more easier to do it right from here.
Exactly, good.
Now, sales intelligence. Today's MSP offering is more about land and expand, right? Traditional MSPs are still going into an end customer and saying, hey, give me your managed services. But what does that really mean? Does that mean you take care of my cost or my security or my provisioning or my incidents? What exactly are you going to do? So our business model promotes MSPs to go and sell tiny little offerings like maybe cloud visibility or optimization or security. And once you've landed into that customer, our sales intelligence module is constantly gathering information from their infrastructure and converting it into a number saying, hey, there's more opportunity in this account in optimization or in automation. And it kind of enables your sales teams to go and sell to the customer what they need and skipping the process where you're trying to figure out what do they really want, right? It directly takes you to the point where you go in and say, hey, this is your issue. We can come help fix it. And this is our price tag for it.
Excellent. So everybody is always trying to sell more, to sell more. Então, pessoal, olha, tem um módulo na plataforma que ajuda os prestadores de serviço a identificarem as oportunidades onde a gente tem mais ou menos recursos utilizados, onde tem mais ou eventualmente menos dinheiro investido, mais processamento e onde a gente pode oferecer para o cliente final melhorias. Excellent.
Awesome. Catalog management. So this is kind of where, okay, so we are bringing in some 2,000 different widgets. These are all, each widget is a managed service competence or a managed service use case, but every MSP brings in their own flavor, right? We have MSPs that do container optimization, an MSP that does query optimization, another MSP that maybe goes into the application domain as well. So the whole idea is you can augment to our platform and add your service catalog into it. So for the end customer, it's a really seamless experience. There's stuff you've given to them in self-service, and in that same console, they'll see stuff that you've given to them as managed service, and they'll interact with it just as seamlessly as they would with our platform. So for your end customer, you're basically releasing this amazing mammoth catalog overnight, saying, hey, this is my managed services, come and choose whatever it is that you want us to do for you, and we'll keep doing it on an ongoing basis. So this is becoming really, really key. If you look at the AWS MSP audit, the Azure Expert MSP audit, or the Google MSP audit, all of them really put focus on having a service catalog that you can then present in a simple fashion to your end customer.
Excellent, excellent.
Now, last but not least, layout and access control. So our console is fully multi-tenant. When you onboard as a partner, you get the ability to customize the layouts, the colors, the theme, the logos. You can build your own menus. So what that does for you is you can basically use it like a chameleon and have 50 different offerings out of the same single console. And that really enables partners that want to start off with a FinOps go-to-market, eventually move into something else, and slowly and steadily kind of scale out their overall managed services portfolio.
Great, great. It's something that I do love, and I'm sure that people here in Brazil, the MSPs, also love too. So, pessoal, a gente pode pegar toda a plataforma com toda essa inteligência e transformar essa plataforma in a complete white label, right? It's a complete white label solution.
Yep.
E você pode entregar para os seus clientes, mostrando exatamente, de novo, onde é que ele gastou, onde é que gastou mais dinheiro, onde é que gastou mais recursos, sempre com a sua marca, with your own brand. It's awesome.
So our job doesn't end here, right? If we're coming in and we're going to enable MSPs, features are not a GTM and features are not a sales cycle. So our job is to actually work with you guys and help you build amazing go-to-markets, which are repeatable, they're scalable, and they can get to your customer base quickly. Now, we are not coming in and telling you how to do your business, right? You know that better than us. But what is your definition of FinOps? That'll be based on the target customer base, the size of the customers, the industry, the vertical, and we can help figure out whether your FinOps should include tag and chargeback, or should it only be optimization, or should it include inventory or not, and learn from all of this together and really, really quickly go to market with these amazing GTMs that come to life in a matter of less than 3 to 4 weeks, and before you know it, you're running POCs, you're helping customers engage with you, and the whole sales cycle gets enabled.
Yes, yes. So GTM, pessoal, GTM significa go to market. Eu não estava familiarizado com esse termo, e quando ouvi da Centilytics esse termo, go to market, eu entendi. They will help us. They will help your company as an MSP. How the best approach? What's the model more convenient to make money with that end user, with that customer at the end. So it's awesome, and they will support you during your journey. It's really impressive.
So how does this whole thing come together, right? Well, we bring the product, we bring a platform, we help you with the go-to-market, and we bring in that OEM relationship. We're certified partners with all three. We have strategic tie-ups. We know about their roadmaps, their new APIs, what exactly is going on. And together, this creates this three-pronged partnership where they help you build your cloud build, your CSP. We help build the services, and that's what puts the overall service offering at scale that every MSP envisions it to be, right? And that's why we look at ourselves as this all-in-one solution to take to market with all MSPs out there.
Great. Great. Great.
So just to kind of wrap it up here. So first and foremost, over and above, so everything you saw is core to the business that we do, but we obviously also have more available. So we are fully white labeled, as we said. It'll be your brand, your logo, your URL, your themes, and it completely changes the ability to go to market because now you're not capped by a price, right? If you're selling a Centilytics, your price is our list price. But if you're selling your own IP, you sell at the price that you feel comfortable, and nobody is going to compare one versus the other. We basically will assist you in your audits, your AWS audits, your Azure audits, and we have full money back guarantee on controls that we are responsible for. So if it's a CMP related control and we, for some reason, fail, we haven't in our history, hence we have the confidence to put a money back guarantee on that. We are fully multi-tenant console. So if you guys are working with conglomerates or you have a distributor in between or any level of tenancy that we need to manage, we've done that successfully a number of times and can make sure that we can handle all the cases that you guys might throw at us.
So you mean, Aditya, that as an MSP, I can have my own login where I can see everybody and I can have specific logins to each client. So você quer dizer que eu posso ter o meu login e ver todos e ainda cada cliente pode ter o seu próprio login. Is that?
So that is absolutely correct. Yeah. So each tenant, so you have a tenant as an MSP, and that tenant has its own users that are your users. And then you can create child tenants, which are basically independent, consoles with your colors and your themes. But that's where your customer logs in, and it creates a complete data privacy layer where one customer and the other customer have completely different databases, and that makes sure that they will never have any issues around data security or data privacy.
So I am a CTO and oh, I'm sorry. So I am a CTO and suddenly I decide, well, let me check my consumption up to date. So I can go there and access the interface like my MSP interface and get this information.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point. It's a full self-service dashboard. Any customer, their multiple users can log in and see whatever they have been given access to. And I must also go above and beyond to say we have data residency. What that means is if you have customers that say, hey, I want my data to be in Brazil, we can make sure that every tenant is hosted wherever you choose. So if you want a data to reside for one customer in Brazil, their tenant can reside there. Another customer of yours is in the States and you want their data to reside in the States, that's also viable. So that's pretty unique to us. Pretty much no CMP provides data residency guarantees.
Excellent.
And last but not least, like we said, we're a consultative partner. We are not a traditional ISV. So every partner of ours has a named PDM. We work with you on your pre-sales, sales, technical selling approach. And we've proven it time and again that, if we work together, our MSPs are literally growing at 8 to 12% month on month with us. And their consumption is taking, a completely different turn since they started doing this joint offering of IP with cloud, with managed services. It just completed the missing pieces to make it more profitable as well as scalable. So that's pretty much where we are, guys. Just to throw some numbers at you to wrap up from a presentation point of view, we have successfully built 6 different go-to-markets. We manage at this point in real time close to about $700 million in billing. We have optimized customers. We have done 25 plus audits, 3,000 different widgets and capabilities in the console, and we will successfully improve the efficiency of your delivery teams to make sure that this can be done at scale. And that's pretty much, us. Just a couple of testimonials, good stuff that our kind partners have said about us. And that's everything at our end.
Yeah, in your next version, you can put mine. Yeah, I will. It's awesome. Yes. Once again, congrats on this achievement. Congrats on your team. I'm very proud of you guys. So, pessoal, então, muito completa, a plataforma que pode realmente ajudar a gente, como prestador de serviço, como SP, a fazer dinheiro, a aumentar a nossa receita recorrente mensal. So it can help us as an MSP to increase our revenue, and make more money. That's the main point.
Absolutely.
So
I think we already have a question here in the chat box. Does Centilytics enable serverless computing for pay per second of use?
So do we track that? Yes, we do, Mario. So basically, if a customer is using serverless Lambdas and they want us to show them the charge per second, the number of minutes used, how much memory were they using in their Lambdas, all of that is trackable. From a DevOps perspective, are we provisioning a Lambda? Sure. If you've set up a CloudFormation template that deploys a certain function or a certain piece of code, that is also viable. So yes, we will both help you manage it as well as, to a limited extent, help you provision and deploy those serviceless templates as well.
Any more questions from the audience side? So attendees can also unmute themselves in case you want to raise a question, or you can directly write it in the chat box.
Se tiverem alguma pergunta, é só escrever aí no chat, ok? Ok. So Aditya, are we going to a hands-on session? We are going to a demonstration of the platform. What do you have in mind?
Absolutely. So I'm going to pass it over to Akanksha to give us a quick walkthrough. Being cautious of everybody's time here, we will try to give you guys a look and feel, give you a sense of what it really looks like to play around with it. And then we can absolutely do more detailed technical sessions as follow-ups to this webinar. So just going to try to keep it simple and go from there.
Good.
Sure. So I'll make sure I'm on time. So I'll try to take 10 minutes or so, or maybe less than that.
Okay.
So guys, this is AWS console, but we have all the other Azure CSP plan, A and GCP. For today's session, we are going to focus on just AWS piece. We have advanced set of filters where, as a partner, you can look at all the accounts that you have, right? And your customers will only see the data with respect to their accounts. Okay. You can also filter it by regions, services, and tags, and by different date ranges to say, I want to see my last quarter or 6 months back data. You can also look at it from different pricing and currency standpoint. And most important for the partners is list price and my price. Now, as a partner, you get some margins from the OEMs. So you don't want to show your margins to the end customers. And you might want to even think of customizing the price, that is by adding your managed services pricing or any sort of discounts that you're giving them. All of those configuration, you can set it up for each customer's and tenant, and accordingly they will see their own data and you will see the data for all your customers.
It's great. It's great.
The homepage is to give you a clear overview. So it shows me all the different services that are being used across my customer base, from maximum to $0 to even free trial services. At any given point of time, you can deep dive and compare. So deep dive means, can you further break down the cost of my EC2? That is into multiple aspects, different families, product families. So it will just give me all of that bifurcation in a single pane of glass. Another good thing that we have is the split view. So in case I want to look at my cost for one customer, right? versus another customer, I can use those filters. Or if
Yes.
I want to look at different time ranges data, that also we can do. So let's say I
Yes.
look at my last month data so that I know where am I spending, how my cost has changed versus my
Yes.
current. So in a single pane of glass, I'm breaking down the cost and it shows me penny by penny where it is being utilized, who really utilized it, and at what point of time. So I'm looking at the compute cost, which literally breaks down, uh, and then it breaks down to journal purpose, memory optimized, storage
Yes.
optimized, and then let me go to memory optimized.
Yeah. It's the miscellaneous revealed, so we can look deeper in miscellaneous and see each details. It's awesome. And awesome, I think that we can compare the last month with this month
Correct.
and the last quarter. It's awesome. It really helps with information, right?
So not at just the EC2 level, but even at your Lambda function, data transfer, all of those costs can be looked at, in a single pane of glass here, right?
Yes.
So, and also the best thing about it is at any given point of time, you can download it in Excel, CSV, and PDF format, and then also look at the overtime. So this is where your customers would want to know, right? Why my cost has increased? Why my cost has decreased? So now I get to compare the cost. For the last 3 quarters, I see my EC2 cost has increased a little bit, and in June it has spiked, right? So there's a deviation of almost $8,000. So you can find all of these things in a single pane of glass. And by using deep dive, I can break it down and find that $8,000 deviation and which particular resource, which particular instance has led that cost increase. If you see, it is your compute that has really increased and little bit of storage that has increased. Rest seems to be same, but your data transfer has increased a lot.
Yes, 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 yes. Awesome information, useful and very rich information that will help everybody in the team, the decision makers, to where is my money? So this is a question that Centilytics can help them, to answer. It's awesome.
Exactly. And it's not just that, right? People like to have regional bifurcation. I want to make sure I'm running everything in Mumbai or I'm running everything in, Tokyo, or nothing should be running in North Virginia. So this
Yeah.
will also help me see where exactly my workload is running in which region, what is the cost, so that in case it is non-compliant, I can turn it off. So this is only imagine one in a homepage overview. We have so many products, we can go in detail, get the cost insights service by service. So whether you're talking about PaaS services, you're talking about IS services, SaaS services, we have got all of them covered here, and a dedicated page for something like saving plans, data transfer, and cost center overview, which tells me overall my tagged and untagged cost.
Awesome, awesome. So, I'm more than sure, eu estou mais do que certo de que hoje nós não temos tempo suficiente para mostrar todas as funcionalidades. So, I'm more than sure that today we do not have enough time to look deeper in every details in AWS and Azure and Google Cloud. But Centilytics team and our team here in Unodata, we are, available to receive your inquiries and look deeper in with more details in each of those features and platforms as well. So, well done, Akansha. Well done. And one last thing, mais uma
Mhm.
coisa, don't forget that you, as an MSP, you can have this platform with every single feature with your own brand. That's important. Brazilian market do love, it, and it's important to say again and again because it can bring much more value to not only to the work itself, but to the brand of it MSP as well. So,
Correct. So, this service comprises of all of these activities, making sure you're optimizing the customer's workload, tagging it, and running the security compliances. We got all of that covered. We'll be happy to cover in a deeper session, but it is a highly partner-led platform because we cover everything from white labeling, pricing configuration, where you just want to uh, manage a particular account and edit their charge type. You don't want to show your customer the support, the fee, the tax, RFE, however you want to configure all of these details, credits. It will be viewable in a single pane of glass, and we have a dedicated page to manage all of your customers. Right? You
Yes.
create your own views, the policies, the customers, and you manage them in a single pane of glass.
Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent.
Great. So I will, I guess, hand it back to you, Heather. And in
Yeah.
case there are questions, we'll be happy to address that.
Ok, ok. So, pessoal, nós cobrimos aqui a visão geral do que a gente propôs para esse webinar hoje, né? We covered the main point of this overview we wanted to share with you guys for today. Atu, do you have any poll or any question to share with the audience?
Yes, Eder, we have a webinar feedback survey link. I am sharing that survey link in the chat. Attendees can choose to share their feedback
Okay.
on the link. I have
Okay.
just sent it here.
Okay.
Also, Eder, we have a question here for you in Portuguese in the chat. Please read it and answer the attendees.
Ok. Lucas, você pode me ajudar? Tem uma pergunta em português aí no chat. Você pode ver para mim qual é a pergunta?
Yeah, Edwardson, I translated your question
Sorry,
in
I
Google.
did it in
So,
English now.
yep, no, we would be happy to schedule a meeting,
Okay.
and Eder
Yeah,
and team would be
you are
to
doing
reach
my
out to you.
job. You are doing my job, Aditya. Good. Well done.
Hey,
Well done.
I wanted to learn some Portuguese, so I was like, Google Translate for the win.
Awesome. Go ahead, go ahead. O Aditya está dizendo, né, que tem uma pergunta em português, mas não se preocupe, Éder. Eu já usei o Google Translate aqui para ajudar. Então, o Edilson, obrigado, Edilson, pela sua pergunta, né? Como posso marcar uma reunião para entender detalhes do programa de parceiros? Well, how can we answer Edilson at this time, Aditya? It's simply Edilson, send to us a message, nos envie um e-mail, eder@unodata.com.br e eu vou compartilhar essa informação com a Kancha, com a Aditya, com o Dom, e vamos cuidar de fazer o agendamento. So, I said, well, send to me a message, eder@unodata.com.br, and I will share with you guys the information and schedule a meeting to discuss. Ok? Edilson, muito obrigado. Mais alguma pergunta em português? Mais alguma pergunta, pessoal? O Ato, meu colega aqui, disse, por favor, eu coloquei um feedback, pedindo um feedback para vocês sobre o nosso webinar, e se puderem responder, a gente fica muito agradecido para melhorar, to get better in the next one. Ok? Ok. So, that's all for today. Aditya, Akansha, Atu, Don, Panjai, Centilytics team, what I have to say, but thank you very much. You have been awesome during our partnership. We are doing our best here, and agradeço muito, muito também a toda a galera que participou, as pessoas que apoiam a Unodata, e see you next time.
Again, thank you so much, Eder, for the opportunity. Appreciate the time, everyone. Thanks again for listening. Have a great day.
Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Atul.
Thanks, Eder. Thank you so much for your time. We really loved the webinar. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you, welcome. Obrigado, pessoal. Obrigado aí, Edilson, Mário Seboc, muito obrigado. Sim, vai ser gravado esse webinar e a gente vai compartilhar com vocês. Bruno, muito obrigado também. João, Simone, muito obrigado. Simone, do Edilson eu já falei. Akansha, thank you very much, Akansha, for your attention with us here. That's it. Thank you very much.